I'm your host today, director of the museum. We're thrilled to have you here.
Barely see for the time.
I bought it in San Antonio at the Mexican Museum. It's fabulous.
Love it. Good to see you. Good
Hi,
morning.
I'm Alvin News, the mayor, and welcome to our city.
Mayor,
Nice
good to
see
be
you.
here.
Thanks for being here.
Good morning. But he's so quiet.
I know.
Yay, Main Street! Yay! Treasure! Thank you so much. You know, I walked up and you have 500 school-age children that you could hear a pin drop. I said, oh my gosh, you're out of school and you're not yelling? Come on, let's get a little excitement here. But it's great to be here. And Drew, thank you so very much. I'm honored that you would call me a Texas treasure because I don't consider myself as such. You know, I've said that about my friends Nellie Conley and Lady Bird Johnson and Laura Bush and Jan Bullock and so many others. But it is indeed a pleasure and treasure for me to be here today. Drew, thank you for what you do to represent everybody here. He does a great job in your legislature, and he deserves that. And my friend Sherry Krause with us and all the other members of the Historical Commission. They give so much of their time and their treasure and their interest to represent all things that are important to Texas, but particularly keeping our historical heritage that we have, because that is, once we don't have that, we've lost so much. So it's indeed exciting for me every year to do this. Yes, I think it is 40 main streets in maybe 84 cities in Texas, and was here in 2005 when San Angelo was a main street city. Judge, I see Judge Perrier sitting back here in the back being quiet, but it's great to be here. Last time I was here, the bishop gave me a coin, and I forgot the coin, and Steve Skurlock, in all his wisdom that he learned being from 2 weeks old to 6 months old, you had me on the edge of the seat there, Steve, said just use a quarter. Maybe it'll be about the same as that bishop's coin. But that's okay. We're trying to teach him better. Yeah, but we have fun on this, and we enjoy it so much. The culinary students that are here, you are all in for a treat. They were telling me about the flavors of cake balls. You know, it used to be a cupcake, and now it's a cake ball. There's still, you know, what is that moment in your mouth and lifetime on your hips that we all know about? But before I really get started into the remarks, Rick and I want to express our deepest sympathy to the Padron family, whose son Jaime was killed in the line of duty as an Austin police officer on Good Fridays. We want everyone to know, and you see his parents, to tell them that our hearts are breaking for them. But today we are here to add another point of pride to the wonderful community of San Angelo. I'm very fond of San Angelo, being a girl from Haskell. My daddy was a family physician in Haskell, and our son had asthma when he was 5 years old, and he sent me to see a physician here in San Angelo. So I drove the 2.5 hours to get here and saw him, and he got him on track, and we went back home to Haskell, and I have to say he's alive and thriving and continues to challenge his mother on a daily basis at the age of 28. So there's something special here, not just because of that and the fine medical community that you have and the people that work here, but also when Rick and I decided to get married after 14 years of courtship. He was slow. We drove to San Angelo and picked out our engagement ring at Holland Jewelers, where Bill Holland is a classmate of his. And yes, he did indeed end up and bit the bullet and bought the wedding band to match. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So a little bit of personal history that keeps me grounded here in San Angelo. But I'm so excited for you all to receive the Texas Treasures Award. It's a new award that is given by the Historical Commission, and you are only one of 8 cities in the state. That is what. That is such an accomplishment. You know, sometimes I think people that are east of I-35, with all due respect, forget about us out here west of I-35. And we have so much history to share. In fact, Winston Churchill once said, "History will be kind to me for I intend to write it. And indeed he did. Sir Winston did a little fine job of that. But what all you have done today is you have written history, your own history for San Angelo. Through your dedication to preserving the personal memories such as what I have, protecting your historical structures, and maintaining your way of life. So many of you worked diligently for so many years for San Angelo to keep that unique flavor that it has and remain the great hometown that it always will be. Everybody knows in Texas that our hometown history has a lot more to do than just the bricks and mortars and the windows and the paint. For many of us, it's remembering those trips to Sunday school or the piano lessons or getting dressed up for family lunch after church at a sit-down restaurant back then when it was truly a special occasion to do that. Our hometowns for all of us represent collective memories. And I don't just mean the historical places like the Cactus Hotel that I drove back by today on the way down here, the museums, the studios, the businesses, through this fabulous 200-acre cultural district that you have maintained here in San Angelo. But we all know it's not the bricks and mortar, it's the people. It's you and me and your neighbor and your preacher and your dog and the cat. And the neighbor's dog and cat. They are the ones that make the difference. It's the personal touches. It's where a best friend lived. It's where a best friend may have passed away. It's being there for a birth of a child or a grandchild. It's the landmarks that you pass on your way to grandmother's house. They remind us of places that we live that are unique, that help us remember the people who made us who we are, and they help us to create memories for ourselves and our children. And that's what you're doing today. You are creating those memories for your children and your grandchildren. And you are telling the real stories of Texas and real Texas people. And these are the stories that everybody wants to hear, whether you're in San Angelo or Austin or Pella, Iowa, where I was for a couple of months, or Concord, New Hampshire, where I was a couple of months. They want to know about Texans. They want to know about the mystique and the mystere of Texans and what we have. The Texas Treasures Award is an honor that goes to communities that enjoy the ideal combination of culture, preservation, and vision in protecting and promoting your hometown legacies. You can see that here in San Angelo. You can see that, as I mentioned, on why San Angelo is one of 8 cities. Each city of those 8 represents themselves in a remarkable way, and each has an offering that is uniquely special to people looking to learn about and explore the very best parts of Texas. People come to Texas because they want to see what we're really like, because we are real. We attract visitors from all over the world. We create a massive tourism industry. That's what you are doing here in San Angelo, and it's a good thing to do. I have long been a proponent of Texas tourism. I can't tell you how important the strength is that you have in San Angelo and what you can do and how you can develop that. And it's an effort. It takes you all. It takes the 500 children waving those Texas flags. It takes the culinary students. It takes Representative Darby. It takes the mayor. It takes your historical commission. Because it's so interesting what tourism can do. In 2011, believe it or not, Texas had more than 200 million people come to visit. That was one of the best tourism years we've had in a long time. What's even more sweet about that 200 million people is that they dropped $63 billion in our state. That was the most ever recorded in our state's history. So see, with just a little bit of effort, what you can do, and what you've done has really stood out. So today, San Angelo becomes even more notable because you're making the most out of your history and your legacies. And you know what it is to come together and fill out those forms and send them to Austin and get a committee to select you as being outstanding. That's what's so important that you're preserving. And you're building upon those relationships to bring something to San Angelo in the pride that you do. I want to commend each and every one of you for taking time, for being here today, or getting your child ready to go to school, or promoting San Angelo like nobody can do it but you. Nobody can do it like you can. Maybe Steve Skurlock, but he didn't spend enough time here. So we got to take up the slack for Steve and make the contribution to San Angelo, the wonderful place that it is. Thank you all for doing this. You know, we as Texans, we are so blessed to be rich in history. Every corner that you turn, every stone that you overturn is rich and deep in Texas history. But even more important than that, we are doubly blessed to have people like you in San Angelo that make a commitment so that history will come alive and stay alive for many generations to come. So congratulations, San Angelo, Texas Treasure City, First Lady Texas Treasure City Award. Everybody give yourself a round of applause.